Hello friends, welcome to our channel Knowledge Amplifier, and in my this particular video I am going to start one project on convolutional neural network. Okay, that is, we'll try to classify image using CNN. But before going ahead, we need to have some fundamental understanding of neural network. Then only the picture, the programming part will be clear to us. Internally in the backend side, what is happening, if we don't go that much depth, that also okay, MATLAB will be handling that, or else if you're using Python, that will be handling the backend part. But at least why we are using which function, what the function is doing, or what is the importance of that particular function in that particular stage, at least that much basic understanding is required. And that's why I am discussing these prerequisites, so that when I will be showing you the programming part, you can easily understand. Okay, so as you know, in convolutional neural network, the base is convolution, and we have used a lot of examples we have seen in image processing as well as in digital signal processing, right? Using convolution, we can extract common properties like edges from images, how there are several ways different kernels are present. We have seen Sobel edge detection, Kenny edge detection, pre-weight edge detection, different techniques. Just by changing the kernels, we can achieve different or we can extract different information which are very important for a particular image classification, right? We have seen. Now there is one more very important part which is often required in CNN, that is activation function. What is that? Let me discuss. So if you have done machine learning course, then it will be very easy for you to understand that in most of the practical scenario, whatever data we get, that is not linearly separable. Linearly separable means if you are considering this is one particular class data points, this is data points belonging to another class, see, they are perfectly linearly separable. But if you are considering this case, so here the data is not linearly separable. You cannot find one straight line like y equal to mx plus c to separate these two data perfectly. So this time we require sigmoid kind of function. This kind of function we have encountered in our logistic regression discussion, right? So this kind of data is called linearly separable data, and this kind of data is called non-linearly separable data. Now the thing is that as most of the data in our practical scenario are non-linear, so whatever convolution result we will be getting, it is always better to introduce non-linearity in that. Artificially we will be introducing non-linearity, so that when our model will be trained, that time it can just understand the non-linear pattern, okay, so that it can easily classify the real-time scenarios. So one simple non-linear example is this kind of rectification function. If you have studied electronics and communication engineering or basic electronics course, that time you have studied half wave rectifier, full wave rectifier, right? All those things. Like suppose I am having one kind of sine wave like this, that time suppose I want to plot the half wave rectification output, then what will happen? For all the positive values greater than 0, it will be following the pattern, and for negative values it will become 0 voltage. Then for again positive values it will be following the pattern, then for negative values it will be following 0 voltage, like that. So you can easily understand, if you are considering half wave rectifier as system, the system is what kind of system? Non-linear system, because this is output and input are not linearly related, right? So the function in terms of mathematics, if we represent, we will be getting this one: f of x equal to 0 for x less than 0, equal to x for x greater than equal to 0. And if you love graphs, then you can easily plot and understand that this will be the graph for our rectification function, right? So for all positive values of x, it is following y equal to x, and for all negative values, y value is taking 0. So rectification is happening, right? So this kind of function we can introduce in our convolution outcome. So this particular activation function is those kind of function which is helping us to introduce non-linearity in our data. So this kind of function is called activation function, and there are different kinds of activation function. This particular rectification type activation function is called ReLU. Okay, So this is just abbreviation of rectified linear unit. That is nothing but one rectification function, how rectifier works. Okay, so this kind of activation function we can apply on our convolution outcome like this. So suppose convolution result outcome we are getting as one matrix, and we are applying ReLU activation function on this matrix. So see, here negative value is present, here negative value is present, here negative value, here negative value, here negative values. All these negative values are replaced by 0, and all the positive values see remaining intact. Okay, so this is how ReLU is working. So using this kind of activation function, what we are doing, we are basically creating non-linearity in our data. Okay, right? Similarly, sigmoid is there, like we have studied in logistic regression. This sigmoid graph, you can understand, right? This is one non-linear function. Suppose we vary x in this direction, you can understand y varies non-linearly with respect to x. Then tan h function is there. I am not going in the detail because the most popular is ReLU, which we generally or frequently use in our real-time projects also. But again, that depends on situation also, right? So we have understood this activation function, what is its importance. Then one more layer I want to discuss. This particular term also will be frequently encountering in CNN project, that is polling. Okay, so what is polling? Polling is nothing but something which reduces the size of image. Okay, or from higher dimension, basically it just try to compress the image to some lower dimension. Okay, right? So what it does basically, it combines neighboring pixels of a certain area of image into a single representative value. See, very simple idea. You just consider this particular bigger matrix, and polling we are applying on each 2 cross 2 block. Okay, so 1 1 4 6. Okay, so now if you just take mean of all these values, 6 plus 4 10 plus 2 12. 12 divided by 4 is 3. So we are replacing here by 3. Okay, then here suppose what we are doing, here we are applying stride of 2. Okay, so what will happen, the next block will not look like this kind of overlapping. It will directly shift by 2 unit, and actually the next position will be, let me show you, like this. And here if you check, 3 plus 1 4, 4 plus 4 8, 8 plus 8 16, divided by 4 is 4. So this representative, single representative value is sitting here like this. Here also in the vertical direction also stride is 2, so we will be directly coming here, and then next time when you are doing horizontal movement, we will be going to here. So like this, if you are using mean polling, that is if you are representing the whole region by average, then you will be getting this kind of lower dimensional outcome. But if you are using max polling, that is whatever area will be considering, among that the maximum value will be taking. So see 1 1 4 6, so here 6 will be representative because among this maximum value is 6. Then here in this particular part 1 3 4 8, 8 is the maximum, like this we are getting. So see, eventually what is happening, using polling, what we are doing, we are basically reducing the size of our image, so converting from higher dimension to lower dimension, and we are trying to keep the information using some statistics, either that is mean or max, or that may be median, or that may be minimum of that particular area, like that. Okay, and this particular polling is obviously done after convolution and activation. So first you do convolution, extract the important information, then you transfer some activation function, and then you apply polling on it. Okay, this particular thing, you have multiple time we have done this kind of thing in image processing, right? When whether you are considering median filter or mean filter, that is moving average filter, same kind of thing only we have done, right? Just consider a region and put in the central part one single representative value of the whole region. Same thing what we have done in image processing, just we are doing the same here. Here we are reducing the dimension using that. So I hope the concept of activation and polling is clear to you. These two prerequisite concepts surely going to help us when we are going to build our CNN project. So catch you in the next session. Thank you.